My name's Sue Grant from Berthon, and I'm here with Peter Watson, the owner of FPB 78 number 2, Grey Wolf 2. And filming us today is Harry, and we're going to take a look round Grey Wolf and have a chat about her because we've got the opportunity to have Peter, who, having steamed 1.5 times around the planet aboard her, knows her quite well. So here we are on the foredeck. Tell us about the anchoring arrangement, Peter.
Well, we've got our Maxwell capstan, a lovely anchor. Steve made sure that we had a decent anchor. We've
Rotner.
Rotner anchor.
Yeah.
And we've managed to
No, because he used to tease me about this Rotner anchor. I've heard so much about it.
Okay,
so, yeah.
right. So
there is no other anchor.
There is no other anchor, but it's had 110 knots on the nose. In Chile, and held quite happily. Mm-hmm. So there is no other anchor.
Perfect, fantastic. Track mark decks. This is access into the forward lazarette, which we'll get to later.
Yep.
And one of the really important things about Grey Wolf is that she's MCA Category 0.
Yes.
That was a red line for you when you were building her.
Yeah, she's MCA Cat 0 and she's also MLC compliant as well.
Yes. And for you, why did you want that?
I wanted to be able to take fare-paying passengers into the Arctic waters, and also I believe, although might be a bit boring, but the Cat 0 code means that the boat is just safe to go anywhere.
Yeah, and you are going to some very sketchy places, or have been.
Yeah.
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 And so with the MCA code 0, you can take fare-paying passengers without reference to a safe port.
So you
take
don't need
literally
a safe port.
anywhere.
Right. Okay.
So we've been down in Antarctica twice and all around the world.
Okay, and she's looking very good. She's delivered 2017 in New Zealand, built by Circa Marine, designed of course by Dashu Offshore, Steve and Linda Dashu, and she's a very special boat. So we'll just go and walk down the deck and have a look. This V shape is signature of the FPB 78, and I forget the strength of the windows, but I did have it drilled into me.
Yep. They can't be measured. They're so thick, so we have a certificate of their thickness. It's the great thing is we don't have to carry any storm boards.
Perfect.
So we can take any kind of water that the world can throw at us. Lovely up here. We've got lovely ventilation through into the great room.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty important, isn't it? Because forced air through the boat makes a huge impact to comfort when you're sailing far. Okay, so let's... And
if we go on round the side here, our safety rails metre high for Cat 0.
And you've also got this snazzy little Spectra
line hanging on. On the side here you've got the vents for the various cabins. And then we come to the rear deck.
Fabulous. Brace of ribs, both AB.
Yeah, both AB, both military hyperlong. Both got pushing pads on the front and both designed really to go anywhere. This one's got wheels so we can beach it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a picture of the wheels, and she's got a 15 and the big guy has got a 70.
Yeah.
So what does this go along at?
This will happily go on about 25 knots if the weather conditions.
So it's really capable.
Yeah, it's really capable.
Alloy bottom. And then here you've got barbecue.
Barbecue.
Sink.
Again, engine ventilation. Hatch to get into the captain's quarters.
Which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Heads compartment.
Yeah.
Day head or deck head. And big storage.
Yeah. Passerelle. Ship's bell. Emergency hydraulic steering. We've got 4 methods of steering the boat.
How many do you need for Cat 0?
We only need 2 for Cat 0.
Because it's Grey Wolf, we've got 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now we'll go down to the swim step. So Grey Wolf's got bow thruster and stern thruster. Stern thruster lives here. These are storage.
Electrical locker, ballast tank. A life raft, we've got 2 life rafts, category for 12 people. This one's automatic, will inflate itself. Then we've got a further life raft underneath the stairs. We got a special dispensation to carry that, not as an automatic one, so that if we were in southern waters and we got knocked down, we'd still got a life raft.
Perfect. And this is really good for getting access onto the boat when you're at anchor
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
For tying the dinghy alongside.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so if you don't mind, Peter, if we can go up to the matrix deck, which is the sort of nerve centre
Yeah.
of the Big Wolf.
So as you can see, we've got clears here. Go up.
Yep. Harry, you coming too? Right, here we go.
Okay, so here we have a manual GPS just in case anything locks up and we have problems or anything. But then we have navigation on 2 different systems, a SIMRAD system and time zero. On the left hand side there we have an Argus commercial radar. We have on the boat 3 radars, so we have the Argus commercial radar, we have a Frumo one which works with time zero, and we also have one that works with the SIMRAD. Some interesting things that are a bit unusual. We have a forward looking echo sounder here, and we can bring the picture up here, so we can look into places where the charts are not good enough and we can make up our mind whether it's safe to go in. We have a FLIR infrared camera.
Right.
And that's really...
Where's that mounted?
That's mounted on the front there.
Got you?
Yeah. And that's really used, we tend to honestly use it for finding wildlife in Scotland. It's really good at picking up wildlife at dusk, and then we can see the wildlife. But obviously designed for safety feature, just in case somebody falls overboard, we can find them more easily.
Okay.
So we have 3 satellite compasses and 1 rate compass on board. So never get lost.
And then, so you do handling, navigation, everything from here normally?
Yeah. Tends to be the place that everyone we do the navigation from, but you tend to find visitors love congregating here.
This is lovely space, isn't
Yeah.
it? And you've got a wet bar here.
Yeah.
And this is a comfortable place.
Yeah. It's just a nice little sort of bench that you can lie on.
I think Mrs. Watson likes this.
Mrs. Watson definitely likes that.
Yeah, nice place to sort of just lie down and read a book and just hang out and be. And of course you've also got side access onto the side decks. And
we've got this remote helm down there which we can take either side.
Yes, okay, so have a look at that. So that remote helm will work either port or starboard.
Yep.
So that means that you've got really good vision.
Yeah, and I can see from out
manoeuvring.
there, I can see right to the front and right to the back, alongside at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So we've also got some clears that we can roll up. And the other favourite place, we have out here is basically almost a sun deck where Mrs. Watson loves to be when it's nice and warm.
Beach Club a la Grey Wolf.
Yes, Beach
Perfect.
Club a la Grey Wolf.
And solar array.
Yeah.
You've also, I don't think we showed properly, you've got solar array forward.
Yep.
So what's the capability?
So basically in the Pacific we were quite happily 3 days without running the generator from solar power.
And what's that? That's fridges?
Fridges,
aircon?
Aircon. Aircon sort of takes a bit more, but if you don't need aircon. And one of the great things about this boat is you can really get the ventilation going throughout the boat without having to run the aircon.
Because that's really well designed actually, isn't it?
Yeah,
All the grills
really,
and the
really well designed from that point of view.
Yeah. And then of course the booms are for the retrieving the dinghies. We didn't talk about that, so they both
lift on.
Yep.
And of course across here we've got the flopper stoppers.
Yep.
And for those that don't know, we put our booms out and put our flopper stoppers out, and that stops us rocking if the conditions are such that the boat.
And that really works.
Really works really well. Really easy method.
And then we've got some kit up here.
Yep.
Which Harry won't get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there he is.
EPIRB, satellite compass, another satellite compass, another satellite compass, a couple of radars. We've got
Oh, you've got an open array as
yeah,
well.
Iridium Pilot at the back there, SATC.
Yep.
Um,
Brilliant. So let's go down to the great room, which again all FPBs have, and I think the one aboard Grey Wolf is a bit special. But come and have a look and see what you think. Okay.
so
How cool is this?
So we have lovely ventilation, just nice breeze coming through the derades. Lovely television.
Which pops up and down.
Which pops up and down. We can play films, we can watch television there. I did forget to tell you about, we've got an intercom system throughout the boat, so if we see any wildlife we can say, you know, if people want to be called, we can call them for
So if you're changing watch, you can actually ring down and say you're on watch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect, absolutely fantastic. And this is oak?
Yep.
Closed grain
oak.
And it is in fabulous condition. Easy to keep?
Yeah, dead simple, wipe it off.
Perfect. I love this table.
Yeah.
And these, you have to sit in.
Yes.
They're very good, aren't they?
With your cushion.
Yes, of course.
Underneath.
There is one there. And loads of seating for dining.
Yeah, these mushrooms can be removed. Depends how many people have got aboard. And then we've got a curtain that you can have a bit of privacy across there.
Yep, just there, which is lovely. And of course, all around, I mean, we're in Lymington Marina, so, you know, there are limitations today, but you have fantastic vista. Yeah. Very light. So you're in amongst everything that's going on. When you're somewhere, I mean, Scotland, Antarctica, Arctic Circle, it must be extraordinary. Yeah, no, the vision is great, and it doesn't really matter what the weather's doing outside. You can either be warm inside or you can be up out in the nice warm weather. Perfect. So let's have a look at the galley. One of the things I love about these boats is that the galley is part of the living. So if you're on watch, you can make a cup of tea whilst on watch.
In the Pacific, we tended to do some of the watches, or we'd be cooking at the same time as doing the watch. So we've got a couple of dishwashers, oven, infrared hot plate.
Huge refrigeration.
Yeah, deep freeze, and then refrigerator. A lot of storage on this boat. We built it with more storage than normal FPVs so that we can... So if you are, because you haven't done that much chartering, have you? Because you spent most of the time with the family and on board. Yeah. But when you've got a chef on board, they're super happy people, are they? Yeah. Yeah. Camera is too hot. Okay, so let's just go to the front of the of Grey Wolf, and if you can just explain this first before we go, which is our sort of communications and. Right, so we have over here obviously telephone, but we've got an Iridium Pilot, we've got Navtex, we've got Minisat C, we've got an Iridium Go where we can bring down our weather onto this computer here anywhere in the world, HF radio, we've got a radio for talking to aircraft or helicopters, working with them.
Is that what? A separate frequency, is it?
Yeah, separate frequency.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay. Repeaters on the engine controls, repeaters on the maritime controls, generators, all the breakers that we can control from here, and I think
so that's 230, that's 240, 24 volt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got a mixture of 230 volt, 24 volt, and 12 volt.
But she will accept 110.
Yes, we've also got some 110 sockets. So. Yeah.
So whether she's in the States or whether she's cruising elsewhere, she can accept power from the dock. Yeah. So, and now we're going to. We might have to wait for Harry as he sort of struggles down here with his huge kit. There we go. And if you don't mind, Peter, can we go right up to the forward lads and then work back? Now, I think this is fabulous. This is a proper man cave.
Yes, proper man cave.
Yeah.
So lots of spares in boxes. Do that. Our blue thing here is for when we go down in the Arctic. We drop people off, and that's the emergency kit in case we can't get back to pick them up. Our chain locker up there. Easily get to any of the.
Whose bike is this?
That's the boat's bike.
The boat has a bike.
So the boat has a bike. We have
access onto the deck.
Yeah, compressor for the horn across there. We have 2 wonderful horns on the boat.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Oh, you should hear them go. It gets people out of the way. So we've got grey water storage here and black water storage here. We can take the grey water from the forward cabins into there. So if you go into Turkey or
oh, you're
London,
contained, so you don't have that horrible problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and there we've got our sonar hub that we drop down to look into these difficult places to make sure we're safe.
So that retracts?
Yeah, that tracks back into the boat and then retracts out, and we can read the sonar pattern.
Fascinating.
And we can set it to depths, and we can set it to the amount of sweep it has as well. So
really,
it's really a really good tool for the Pacific and places who aren't charted that well.
So then we've got, this is the forward crew cabin, so upper and lower berth cabin. Now, can you explain about the crewing regulations and how she complies and what she has to have?
Yeah, okay, so when we go off into extreme places, we basically carry a crew of 3. That's a ocean yachtmaster, and one other person deemed okay by the captain. And we also carry somebody who has an approved engineering certificate and so
sometimes that would be you?
Yeah, sometimes that's me, and a ship's captain's medical certificate.
Right.
Normally carry, when we're going off into extreme places, £2,500 worth of drugs and support from the UK.
Oh, really?
So, you know, it's really got all the kit for that.
Yeah. And so that means that, and I think there are regulations that you have to have kind of 2 and 2 separate cabins. You couldn't have 4 people in this cabin.
No, under the Maritime Labour Convention, we can only have a cabin for 2 people with their accommodation.
I remember when you were building the boat, I remember living that.
Yes. And the beds have to be a certain size, 2 metres, and then just over 2 metres.
And they are, and lots of storage.
Lots of storage. Underneath here, we've got lots of storage. And then we've got crew shower, loo.
Can you get that?
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay, so I'll do this for Harry. And there's a shower, heads, basin, storage, more storage next door, and then watertight door.
Watertight door.
Which is a requirement for MCA. I have to say that Grey Wolf's sisters also have this.
Yeah. We can have any one compartment flooded and the boat will still stay stable, upright, and still is effectively the life raft for everybody.
Okay.
So storage all the way down.
And one of the really clever things about the 78 is this corridor, because not only does it give access to a further part of the boat, but it also means that this cabin is not too wide.
Yeah.
And so spatially, this owner's cabin works really well.
Yeah.
So this lovely owner's cabin, there's Grey Wolf's home port in Guernsey. Double berth, can be split.
Yes, this one can be split with a lead cloth, so actually we can make that into 2 singles. We've got lots of storage for books here. We have
all about Grey Wolf.
Yeah, all about Grey Wolf.
Okay.
So we also carry a gun cabinet, and we've got a couple
gun
of
cabinet's
safes.
there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not going to tell you where the safe is.
No.
No, not going to tell you where the safe is. Okay. And here?
Here we have loo, this side, basin. And then this side we have a shower, which you can also, it's a signature mark of Steve that you can actually use it as a bath.
And then you've got this lovely basin here, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And then we've got a cupboard for putting things in, which...
We've got a wardrobe here.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a really lovely, lovely area.
Again, lots of mechanical ventilation and air conditioning.
Do you know, I remember on, because she's 78-1, when Steve and Linda Dashew took delivery, and Linda Dashew came into this, she said, Skip, because everybody calls him Skip, Skip's told me that we've got OK digs. Look, Sue, they really are OK, but they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, and this is your office?
Office, media area. We do a lot of editing of our film work and our pictures here.
So you've got a little store
So a
that
little
comes
store
out.
that we can pull
Storage.
out. Storage. Everything you'd really expect in a small office media centre.
And the joinery is just faultless. This is Corian.
Yeah, there's Corian.
Another watertight door.
Another one. Yep, another watertight door. And then we come round here. We have a small technical area.
Oh yes, this is to look at, and no idea. This takes a bit of learning. How long did it take you to become real friends with Grey Wolf? Because you were there at the end of the build, weren't you?
Yes, I spent quite a bit of time in the yard helping with the final finishing touches, and then we went off to New Caledonia. Took a couple of months really trialling it.
And bear in mind, I mean, you've got a engineering background.
Yeah.
Hmm. But fortunately, now it's all known, it's all written down.
Yeah.
So
have loads
for the
of
next owner,
supporting manuals,
it's not going to be nearly
both
as
electronic and paper.
perfect. And so then,
We come into one of the guest cabins.
which is fab.
Yeah, we've got a pipe berth up there, being used by third person sometimes, but often by sort of young kid with their parents. Shower, loo.
And this is fabulous because it's got a separated stall here, which is enormous. Electric loo. And there's another one of these to starboard. Hi, Harry. Okay. So, and then here, another. Where's that?
That's Antarctica.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
So,
And again, another watertight door,
another watertight door.
and into the cathedral.
Yes. So, two lovely John Deere tractor engines.
Yep.
That run at about 50% of their capability, and they just chug. And they chug very reliably. We've only ever really changed water pumps and serviced them. We've got hydraulics for the Naiads, day tank, generator.
So just tell it, just very quickly on the Naiads, the stabilisers.
Yep.
They're oversized, so she can dry out on them.
Yep.
Yeah. And how reliable have you found them?
Extremely reliable. We've only ever had one failure, and that was the rheostat, which we carried as a spare and just bunged a new rheostat on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah.
And she's just solid as a rock.
Because of the amount of lead she's got on here for MCA, if you wanted to dry her out, then you really need to have something to lean her on slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So that she can dry out on it.
Okay. So generator.
Generator. Couple of water makers.
Now,
Again,
so why have you got the extra water maker?
well, our lovely big water maker that works really, really well and is fully automatic decided it didn't like the cold.
Right.
So in Antarctica we have a second water maker just in case we have a problem with the first water maker.
And did you make water when you were in Antarctica?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of showers.
Lots of showers. Carry a few thousand, nearly 6,000 litres of water.
Yeah. Okay.
Got three methods of heating. Three methods of generating electricity. So it's not like your typical boat from that point of view.
So let's just go back on that. 3 methods of heating.
3 methods of heating. So we've got an all-fired heater.
Yeah.
We can electrically heat the water,
Mm-hmm.
and we're heating it off the engines.
So you've got a calorifier. It's
Yeah.
a heat exchange.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in terms of electricity, we've got 2 whopping great alternators, which are split alternators on the engines.
Mm-hmm.
We've got solar, and we've got the generator.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit about noise and these
So
sound
when we commissioned
generation?
this, we actually commissioned a noise report from an independent consultant, and we have got far more noise suppression in here than the other 78s. But we were very keen that the noise levels were right, and we had to do that for the Maritime Labour Convention.
Oh, because of course they are behind the engine room.
Yeah.
So then you've got laundry room here, which is fab. And then this cabin.
So this is our captain's cabin. You can see a chart plotter, and he's got a radio up there, or a radio here.
Also got a TV.
His own TV. We carry toolkit there, massive toolkit.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah. And behind here there's about £30,000 for spares. Spares for every conceivable part of the boat you could imagine.
And in Antarctica, you were there?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I slept on that bed in Antarctica.
Yeah.
So in here we've got our steering gear. Again, typical Dashu. We've got one pump that we actually really need. We've got a second pump for docking, and we've got a third pump as a backup, and we can use any combination of them.
And now you know the red button's a valve.
Yes, we had a real problem with that one.
Yeah. And there's a guide.
There's a guide here. We've made up guides for all the sort of things that you want in an emergency.
That's really important, isn't it? And then of course here there's another heads compartment and shower, which is all lovely.
And then this is an exit that we can use for getting out without going through the engine room.
Yeah, and what I particularly like about this is if you're in a big sea, you're not going to have to get out onto the bathing platform, or it's just a really safe entry onto the deck and then in. Yeah. Okay. So Peter, what is it, apart from all the many features of Grey Wolf, what do you love about it most?
The ability to go anywhere at any time and see anything, I think, is the phenomenal thing. And I think Antarctica was very special, but there were some lovely places in the Pacific which we went to and had a fantastic time.
And has she delivered on what you hoped for when you commissioned her?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Peter, and thanks for listening to our ramblings. Grey Wolf 2, very special FPB 78-2.